A Black Man's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's go. I had to stop speaking with people and engaging people who do not speak in real time. I had to deal in real time. I had to stop engaging people that like to speak in hypotheticals. I am about to, I'm about to try to, things like that. Dealing in real time is real important in being successful in your own life. If you engage people that are procrastinators, and those are people that don't deal in real time. Not dealing in real time means that you procrastinate. You're about to. We all have friends like that, and we all have been like that. We like to talk about what we're about to try to do. Man, I'm trying to get this loan so I can start this business. I'm about to try to go back to school so I can, I'm about to try to start this business. I'm about to try to, about to is an excuse. People that use about to a lot are people that already have excuses waiting for why they didn't finish. About to doers are not finishers. I had to begin to engage more finishers and stop engaging so many procrastinators, and including checking that in myself. You're going to find that you have a lot of people that are procrastinators and people that don't deal in real time. They don't deal in the current. They don't deal in what they need to change right now. They deal in if you put yourself around that kind of energy, you find that you become more focused on what's about to happen and the possibilities, and you sell yourself more so on a fairy tale than what you need to do right now to actually get there and live a dream today. So I learned to do monthly assessments on my positive and negatives, right? Sort of like a pros and cons list. But you have to be honest if you're going to do it. So make a monthly pros and cons list of all your actions and in regards to how you've moved over each 30-day period. At the end of every month, look at the pros, look at the cons, and be brutally honest. Don't make excuses for yourself. For example, I had to do a pros list. And on my pros side, I said, well, I'm extremely ambitious. I have no faith. I put no power in limitations, the belief of limitations. My thoughts are boundless and they have no limits. And then on the con side, I had to be honest and say, well, in those regards of not focusing on limitations and operating without boundaries, I tend to operate quite a bit. I tend to operate irresponsibly quite a bit. I don't really plan things out. I don't calculate things properly. I just kind of do and act out and I assume that they're going to work out because I'm so ambitious that I'm going to find a way to make it work. No matter how I'm coming, no matter how sideways I'm coming, or how crooked my approach is at my pursuit of what I'm actually trying to do, of what the actual goal is, it doesn't matter. I can be as reckless as I want to be. I'm going to figure it out in the end. That's a negative. That's a con. So I had to change that. So the pro is that I'm extremely ambitious, but the con was that because I'm so ambitious, I feel as if I don't need to create a plan because I can always find a way to work it out. And that's not true. You're going to get jammed up. You're going to fall. And the failure, you're going to fail, even with a plan. Go ahead and get it out of the way. But a failure without a plan means that you're going to stay down. You didn't calculate how to get up. So you're just going to kind of stay there and wait for help. And the minute you reach for that hand, no matter how great your idea is, no matter how amazing and how driven your ambition is, someone else is going to use your ambition to get them rich or get them even more rich than they already are. And you're going to continue to never live your plan out because you didn't have one. You need a plan. Monthly assessments, a daily pros and cons list every 30 days, I'd say. Be honest about it. Pros of the things that you've done right, even down to your relationships and things like that, things that you tried to do differently from the previous month, things that you failed at, even trying to do things differently from the previous month. You always need to keep track of your progress, or there will be no more. Accessibility and recognition. I say it again, accessibility and recognition. You being accessible and your availability to people at whatever random hour they decide to reach out. If you respond to the lack of appreciation of your time and what you may have going on, you will be played like that for the duration of however you deal with whoever that is. Understand. Let me break it down. For example, if you were to meet somebody and you say you exchange business cards, you say, hey, I want to do business with you. I'm going to, okay, cool. Give me a call. Here's my card. You exchange cards. You say, hey, give me a call tonight at 8 p.m. They don't call you at 8 p.m. They don't text you to explain why they missed that time frame that you set aside. And they call you later at some random hour and still expect you to answer. That means they have no appreciation for your time. If you then answer that phone call when they call you after the time that you allotted for them to call to talk about that business, that means you're going to be played within that business forever going forward. That very first interaction is everything. Your time is valuable. If you meet a girl, if you meet a guy, whatever, you do a phone number exchange, they say, hey, I want to call you sometime. You do the text messages. Can I call you later? Sure. Call me at 10 or between these times. It's important for you to always set a time. Do not always be accessible and available for any and everybody who wants to call you whenever they feel like it, or wants to reach out, or wants to talk to you. Your time needs to be treated as if they're talking to Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Barack Obama, or individuals, you get me, Elon Musk, individuals of that caliber. You need to carry yourself and conduct yourself the same way. I give people a time. If they say, hey, can I reach out to you? I give them a set time that I will allot. I'll first of all say, let me look at my calendar. Let me check my schedule real quick and see where I'm going to be available. When you figure out when you're going to be available, you give them a time. Now, never mind the fact that you just saying, hey, let me check my schedule. The first reaction will be like, whatever, schedule. He's not busy. In their mind, they're not going to say that. But when you say that and you give them a specific time, if they do not align their time with the time that you are available and that you can set aside for them, don't ever do business with them. Don't ever talk to them again. I've met some of the most beautiful women in the world in Walmart or out and about, giving them my number. And we've, done a little general text message exchanges, and they say, oh, I'm going to give you a call later. And I give them an exact time. If they don't call me at that exact time and don't provide a text message when that time rolls around, as to give an excuse or a reason as to why, not that the reason will matter to me, because depending on how strongly I'm feeling them or not when I met them, what the vibe was, I might not accept that excuse either. But if they don't at least take the time to explain why they missed that time frame that you set aside in your available time, then I don't ever call them back, and I don't ever take their call ever again. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care how close of a friend it is. I've had friends that I've had for 10, 15, 20 years. And typically friends that I've had that long, I give them 3 strikes. You have 3 times to not call me when you said you would, not deliver on an email or something that you said you would send me, not do something that you said you would do that I actually allotted time to receive from you. If you don't deliver on that, my time is money, and my time is extremely valuable. Limit your accessibility. Don't always be accessible. Don't always be available to receive someone's call. Don't always return their text right away. It sounds quite petty, but I guarantee you, if you're hard to catch, when they catch you, they're going to put the BS aside and get right down to the money, because they're going to realize the value in that moment. And they're going to realize that there's a good chance they may not ever catch you in that moment again. So whatever they're trying to do, whatever action they're trying to jump off, whatever business they're trying to be on, whatever finesse or hustle they're trying to run on you, if they need to borrow money, they get right down to the nitty gritty because they don't have no time. And they realize that you don't have no time ever. Your availability is everything. Your accessibility is everything. Stop being accessible, stop being available, and stop feeling the need to get recognition for everything. I put those in the same light. Accessibility and recognition are in the same breath, man. People feeling the need to, let me give you an example real quick that you can understand. Say if you had a nice moment, a nice photo, you took a nice picture of something and you posted on your social media. Post it and don't log back on to see who liked it. Don't go back to read the comments. Post it and check out. Look, either you're doing this for you, you posted that because you liked it, or you posting it because you need them to like it. Stop seeking recognition. Accessibility and recognition are in the same breath. If you post something to your social media and you have the availability and you're accessible enough to go back and forth in the comments and, oh, thank you so much. And then you go back to their page and you like something, you're too accessible. You're too accessible. Believe it or not, again, it's going to sound petty, but your post isn't going to mean as much. I have friends that never post anything. When they post something, we all like it. You even, to the extent of Instagram even acknowledges individuals who aren't always available, aren't always accessible, and always don't feel the need to reach for recognition. That's why you see the little banner pop up if you're ever on the gram that says so-and-so's posting again for the first time in a long time. And what do? You instantly go to see what they're talking about because you haven't seen them in a while. I look at it like the equivalent to a rapper or an entertainer that never does shows. When they do a show, everybody's there. And they're going to pay whatever to be there. Your time is money. Stop giving it to everybody. Next, manage your relationships. Your relationships. Your dating relationships, whether companionship, your friendships, your family relationships, your business relationships. You need to manage those a certain way. It's going to sound harsh and petty, but who cares? In order for me to have brought forth change in my life, I had to make some changes in those regards. I kind of just dealt with everybody the same way. Accessibility, availability is always available for everybody. But the best way to describe what I had to do in order to manage my relationships, I needed to break my lifestyle, my relationships that were within my lifestyle. I had to break them down into departments, sort of like a corporation. It's going to sound crazy, y'all, but it's honest. You need to listen to this. I had to break them down into departments. Whether they're family, friends, relationships, business, regardless of how they see what your relationship is. As long as you're always upfront with them and honest about it and you never change or sway either way, basically, as long as you don't ever switch up how you move with them, then it's on them to stick around or not. But you need to break it down into categories, regardless of how they see things being for you guys. I have friends that I have broken down into my phone. Break your contacts down into categories. I have friends that I have marked as business. I have friends that I have marked as therapy, which are typically OGs. Let me give you directives here. I have 5 OGs in my phone. Five OGs in my phone. That one is in parentheses and it says business. It says OG, it has their name, and it says business in parentheses. Then I have OG, it says their name, in parentheses it says therapy. OG, it says their name, and it says relationships. OG, and it says their name, and it says money. OG, and it says their name, and it says possibilities. The possibilities meaning stock, things like that, or meaning business ideas, business ventures. The possibilities OG is the one that failed at a lot of things and has tried everything. I have him under possibilities because he can kind of give you a broad perspective on things when you're kind of thinking narrow. Because when we come up with an idea, we think this is it. This is the one. No one's better than this. There's nothing out better than this idea. And he'll put it in perspective like, yeah, I thought like that. I had something similar. And these are the things I did, and this is what I did wrong. My therapy, my OG categories are my most valid and most critical in my life. I'm going to be honest. I have those broken down. Ironically enough, and just to be honest, what you may find if you do it that way is none of your OGs are relatives or members of your family. Now, you have individuals, you have your dad, your brothers, sisters that you can touch base with, but these are individuals that work with an unbiased. What you're going to find is that a lot of family, they give you advice based upon who you used to be and what they know you as. Based upon what they thought you would become, based upon who you were. They don't know who you are now. They don't know the steps you're taking. They don't know how you're moving. So their advice will come with a bias. They'll say, well, I would do this, and what you need to do is this. But knowing you're going to do it like this. So what you might want to do is you don't need that. So those individuals don't need to be in the OG list at all. I have categories broken. I used to have categories broken down when I was in my backsliding days. And brothers, this is what you're here for. So let me give it to you. When you have the women in your phone, you need to have their name and you need to have their purpose in parentheses, their role in your life. Everybody needs to be broken down into a role. Shout out to Star, Troy Terrain, the God. If you can't be used, then you're useless. What you use them for, what their role is. Now, keep in mind, using someone doesn't mean lying to them. Always let somebody know what your intent is from day one. Trust me, you get way better results. If you lie, then it takes a lot longer to get down to the money. When you give them your truth from the jump, then all BS gets set aside and they either with it or they not. If you meet a girl and you just want to hit it, look, hey, I'm not really trying to settle down right now. I'm just trying to have a little fun. Oh, that means you just want to hit it. I mean, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You put that out there. Do you understand how much fun I've gotten into in Atlanta? Just carrying that principle, just being honest and not, moving out of fear of losing out on something that you don't even have in the first place. Be yourself and be honest from the jump. So it's important to put their role in parentheses. I've always operated by this creed, whether it worked or not. If there was somebody who I saw being that one, I put wifey in parentheses. Now, never mind the fact I had like wifey 1, wifey 2, wifey 3, 4, 5 in parentheses, but those just meant those were the quality. Those are who you hit up when the new movie comes out or when a new restaurant opens. You don't hit up TJ in parentheses. That's the jump. You don't hit up the jump to go and do the progressive things in your life. You know what I mean? You hit up the jump at 2 a.m. I know y'all thought this was going to be clean, but let's come on, y'all. We know what y'all came here for. I am Dr. Manhattan. This is a Black Man's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's get back to it. TJ, the jump. That's what I had. OG, parentheses, for the guidance, with their title. I had certain females that I met with their name and in parentheses that said vibe. Those are individuals that you like to vibe with, like to chill with, and you don't feel obligated to try them. And they don't feel like you ever going to try them. Whether they're beautiful, whether they're bad, they got the curves, or they don't. I have, to be honest with you, I had a long stretch, and quite honestly, now I do more than ever, because I have somebody, but I have more people in my contacts with vibe in there. And those are individuals who are not family, who you can be yourself around. You can talk to them about anything. Those individuals with vibe in parentheses, those females, those men, whatever you're dealing with out here, whatever makes you happy, however you're moving, whatever's in parentheses, with vibe, those are the individuals that you can just chill with. You can tell them to come through, play a Uno game. If you're bored, y'all come through and binge watch Ozark on Netflix. You know what they sip. They know what you like to sip. Y'all can sit around and talk, and you can be as brutally honest and you can be as effed up as you are in your life to them and not worry about it affecting your ability to get whatever you want from them, because you don't want nothing from them. There are no motives. Those individuals are in vibe, in parentheses. You need the vibe more than you need the TJ, the jump off. Brother, you need the vibe, and you need the OGs more than you need the jump off. But we're going to cover that later. Learn how to compartmentalize your relationships. I'm sounding like like a dude in jail, like the jailhouse knowledge kicker, like compartmentalize. But it's true. You need to learn how to break it down. Know how to separate things. I have family that I have in parentheses, loan. Those means they're going to come and borrow money. I have family in parentheses that says drama. That means if you answer that call, it's going to F up your vibe. You don't need that. I got family in parentheses that's going to say lecture. Those are the individuals who are going to call and talk at you, but they don't know who you are. So they're never going to talk with you. You don't need to check in with those individuals either. I don't care how close they are. That's what I had to do. That's one thing, major thing I had to change to be successful. I had to stop engaging relationships that didn't give me the positive vibes and positive energy I needed to push forward, man. We have enough nonsense on a day-to-day. You need to know exactly where everybody stands in your contact list and exactly what that energy and what vibe they're going to bring. You need to know exactly what it's going to do to affect your vibe. The next thing is be realistic. Understand the difference between your self-worth and your true value in a situation. The difference between your self-worth and your true value in a situation. We've all been there when we've been at jobs and things like that where, we've been in situations where we're like, yo, I'm better than this, man. Man, I can do better. I can walk out of here, man. They need me, man. I'll bring this and that to the table. No, you don't. And no, they don't need it. And yes, they can get it from someone else. So no, you're not valuable. I know this goes against the whole know your worth thing, but it actually doesn't. There's a difference between self-worth and your worth, and your true value to a situation. You can have all the self-worth in the world. You can be qualified. You can have master's degrees. And I have a PhD. I have a master's in computer science. I have so many friends like that. And I was like that in many ways. Like, yo, I bring this and that to the table. I got X, Y, and Z experience, man. Yo, they need me. But that's your worth. But your true value to a situation may not equate to the same level of what you think your self-worth is. Prime example. You may have somebody that has a computer science degree that knows how to set up a whole data center. I can set up a whole, virtual IT situation for somebody. And I'm going to step in here and I'm going to beat my chest and tell you how much you need me based upon what the world says I should be qualified to be able to do. That's what the world says. That's what curriculum says. That's what school says. That's what your credit says. That's what your debt and your loans say. But why should I put up with this mouthy guy over here, cocky guy who I can't tell nothing to, when I can have my nephew who didn't go to school for it, but uses all these same applications and all this same software every day to post his videos on social media. He has no credentials. He has no degree, but he's hungry. I don't have to put up with your ego based upon what your degree says. I don't have to put up with your attitude based upon what you think you should be paid. And I can deal with this person who's just eager and hungry to be out in the mix and get out here and get some work. Your self-worth should be there. You should stand on your principles. You've done the work. You've worked hard, but this young guy over here is a bit more hungry. He's not as qualified as you, but he's willing to learn. Why should I pay you $5,000 when I can pay him $200? Get a copy of the programs for about another $200. Give him all the programs you got. And give him an extra 30 days to figure it out and be a bit more ambitious than you, because all you're going to be doing is giving us how school told you, or how this business, or how this situation, through your life experience, OG status, I'm an OG in this game. I know how to do this. All you're going to be doing is telling us how it used to be done. This young dude's about to figure out how it should be done and come up with a new way of doing it that may be a trendsetter in the future rather than being the standard from the past. Your true value is not the same. It's not going to be the same. Your self-worth is one thing. That's good. You did the work. You have the years experience. You've been in the field. But your true value to the situation doesn't mean as much. I just need the job done. I don't care whether you went to Yale or whether you went to Atlanta Metro. Can you do it? Can you get it done on time? Can you get it done quickly? Can you do it? And can you do it for the low? And if not, then you will remain unemployed with all your student loans and all your experience. And this new guy will get the money. Not as much as what you were asking for, but through that opportunity, he's going to open the door to get millions more. Understand, that was one example. Understand the difference between your self-worth and your true value. I used to value myself so much. I used to feel like, especially like with the writing scene and things like that, screenplays, writing music, entertainment, things like that in Atlanta. Oh, I'm the guy. I got all this experience. I used to work with this one and that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need at least $1,000 for me to fall through here tonight. And they're like, huh? I ain't never mind. And what they gonna do? They're gonna call a little young dude that I just did a song with to come through for a quarter of that price. That's been around me enough to soak up the principles and soak up some of the game. He's gonna come and apply that game for a quarter of the price and make millions more than I ever made. You know how much money I lost out on? Standing on my self-worth. Standing on the principles of my self-worth. Crack pedestals. I'm standing on a soapbox. I'm standing on a pedestal. I'm who I am. I'm me. You got to deal with that. I've done all this work. I've put in. I've studied this and that. Society tells me I deserve. Well, guess what? Society ain't got time to give you what you deserve. It's what you can deliver right now, at this very moment, for the low, with the least amount of negotiation possible. It's sad, but it's true. I've had to change my mindset. I've had to sell things for the low. I've had to sell services for the low. I've had to jump out and step into opportunities that I said I would never do just to get my feet wet in those relationships. It's all about building relationships. It's not about who you know, what you did, your work, the level of curriculum that you've learned to consume and regurgitate when it's time to do a test, or when it was time to get some form of recognition to say, hey, he or she did this. It doesn't matter. If I need you to start today, can you? With no training? What kind of life experience do you have? What kind of life experience do you have to apply to this moment to get the job done? I need you to deal in real time. I understand, and that's great that you value yourself and you value your self-worth. But what's your true value to me, being that I'm the one that's paying you? Change your mindset. You may feel like you've done the work, you've put in the work, you have years of experience, you have all this equipment over here, I have all these beats, I have all this music, I have all this writing, I have all these film clips, I have all these cameras, I have all these degrees and credentials. But bottom line is, if you can't deliver, you have no true value to me. I can care less what you did to get there, to gain value for yourself. What can you do for me? Because if you can't do nothing for me, I can't pay you. I had to step up and understand that I needed to be valuable, more valuable than just outside of me being satisfied with myself. I need to satisfy the situation, and I needed to bring results. And if I couldn't deliver results, then I was going to lose money. It comes to self-worth. Be ready. Versus true value. Let me elaborate on that real quick in closing. Can't say enough about it. Let me give you an example. I have a homeboy, right? Master's degree in political science. Has 4 children, 3 baby mamas, has an extreme amount of debt. His credit is under a 600, his credit score. But he constantly complains about the quality of women that are coming at him, versus his true value and worth on the marketplace here in Atlanta, because it's 20-1. What he doesn't understand is they're going to have whatever woman that meets you, no matter what your credentials say, you have student loans, that'll probably prevent the two of you from getting together and getting a house together. You're going to have a higher interest rate. Your credit sucks, so you're not going to be able to even finance furniture. You have 4 children by 3 different women, which means those are 3 different personalities that whatever woman that meets you and chooses to deal with you has to deal with on a regular basis. And as just in dealing with baby mamas and baby daddies, one is guaranteed to be an idiot out of the bunch that you're going to have to deal with. Your worth, based upon the work you've put in, does not quite equal your value in a negative way. You're actually in a negative. People are going to have to exert more energy to deal with you, regardless of what you appear to have or what your potential is. Have a homegirl. Shout out to her. She got the fatty, calls herself an Instagram model. No real job. So, I don't discriminate. I'm going to talk about both sides. And she knows who she is. I mean, come on. I spoke to her yesterday about this same deal. She calls to complain about how guys don't take her seriously and how these men ain't real men because they're not stepping up. Well, she has 2 children that she doesn't have custody of. They stay with her mother, and they've been staying with her mother for the past 2 years until she gets on her feet. She's had 2 years to get on her feet. Not on her feet, yet she posts pictures of her on Instagram in the club every night. But she's not on her feet enough to even have her children, but she has time to go to the club. But she has a fat butt, pretty face, and her nails stay done. But again, you get what I'm saying? She doesn't have the stability or the money to create a foundation to bring her children to be able to stay with her. But her nails stay done, her hair stay done. She got the new purse. She got the curves. So she feels like, and she posts a lot of pictures and has a ton of followers, over 200,000. But little do you know, to her followers, little do you know that she has nothing going on. She feels like she's totally worth it because she has over 200,000 followers. Guys ask for her phone number everywhere she goes. She feels like her worth should equal her true value on the marketplace, and it doesn't. Truth be told, if she meets a guy that has his business together, she doesn't even have her own place. With all those followers, she hasn't even found a way to monetize those followers, so she's sleeping on the couch at her homegirl's house. So, brothers, if you meet a girl like that, that means that you want, no matter how curvy she is and how sexy and fine you think she is, you're going to have to move her in with you. When she gets comfortable enough in moving in with you, meaning when you let her just, begin to move her clothes and things like that, then she'll move her kids in. If she's not used to and accustomed to caring for her children on a regular basis, and she's a person that likes to hang out all the time, it just means that you're going to be a professional babysitter. You're going to move her children in. You're going to provide a home for them. While she posts pictures online and tells everyone life is good. Strong, independent woman. You know those posts. I know a lot. I got a lot of homeboys and a lot of homegirls like that. I said homeboys first. A strong black man who, strong black brother. But there's a difference between being a man, and a brother. There's a difference between being a fine-ass chick and a lady. Your value, your worth, and how you see yourself in that foggy-ass mirror will never seem to add up to your true value to someone else. And the real ones see it. The fake ones, they'll go along with it till they get tired of you. And they'll kick you to the curb. Put your worth and your value together. Make it mean something. But it needs to mean something to you first, like for real. And not what it means from the outside. It needs to mean something inside. No more outsiders. Internal affairs only. Another thing is diversify your lifestyle and your mindset. I know we're used to our routines. We hang with people that we can go to the movies with, we walk through the mall with, we go shopping with, we hang out, we might go to the strip club, we may hang out over here. Let's go drink. Let's go play cards. Let's go to this lounge. Let's go here. Let's go there. You might need to switch up who you hang out with based upon the things that you're not used to doing. It's time to step outside of your comfort zone. That's one thing that I had to change. I had to step outside of my comfort zone. I had the friends that we would do the usual. Every weekend, every Friday, yo, you already know what it is, man. Come through with the bottle. Okay. Y'all do that. Y'all get bent. Y'all wake up. Y'all link up, wake up midday Saturday, link up Saturday afternoon, pregame, Saturday night, go out, come back, wake up late, early Sunday, go to stagger into church, pray for God to forgive you, and then hit the club one more time that night. That's played out. It was time for me to change it up and switch it up a little bit, and a lot, quite honestly. Even if it requires you starting to hang out with older people. If you're over the age of 30, you definitely need to have more friends that are older than you have friends that are younger than you. If you're, friends that are over 35, 40 years old, if you're older than that, you need elders, more people your aunt's age and your uncle's age. Why? Because they do different things. It's going to get you out of the comfort zone that got you nowhere, that has gotten you nowhere till this point. The drinking, quite honestly, you can do on your own. You don't need to go out and put your card on file to run up a tab to buy drinks that cost 4 times as much as they would cost if you just went to the liquor store, got drunk at home, and passed out at your own crib. You don't have to look through the rear view to see if the cops are pulling up on you. You don't have to risk your life or anyone else's trying to drive home. You don't have to pay for Uber. You can get drunk at your own crib. So if it's just a matter of you with nothing to do and you want to sip something, get you a bottle and stay your ass home. Learn to do that. But if you want to go out and you want to just, move around different, learn to move different. Reach out to some individuals that are older than you that do different things. And 9 times out of 10, they've been inviting you to do these things. You just thought that they were boring or corny people. To be quite honest, she was like, oh, they old, they boring, I don't want to do that. Start hitting them back and checking in and doing some of those things. I got introduced to golf a couple years back, and that's a great networking avenue right there. You're going to be around individuals that own businesses, individuals that know how to move and shake, and they're going to be, while you're standing out there playing the sport that you think is so boring. Oh, we're just standing around. While you're standing around out there playing golf, there's a lot of game that's being kicked while you're standing around that you can take home and apply. Individuals that may want to go to a cigar bar, or individuals, I have friends that have been inviting me out to seminars. I was like, I ain't going to that. And I go, and it turns out to be a huge networking opportunity that opened my mind to things I never even thought about that I can apply to what it is I'm actually trying to do. The about to do. The not living in real time. These individuals can show me how to move in real time. Start changing your circle a little bit. Diversify your lifestyle. Start doing different things. Start going to different restaurants. Stop watching movies. I know we like to watch our little hood movies because that's where we're from. Many of us from the inner cities, we like to see and connect with things that are aligned with the things that we're more familiar with. Start trying to watch things and focus on things that are unfamiliar to you, because you're going to need to know those things to operate outside of the norm. And the norm is where you're trying to go. The norm is not going to get you paid. The abnormal is what's going to get you to where you've always dreamed of being, that you never really thought you would actually get there. Sadly, and let's be honest. We dream it out loud, but we don't live it out loud. Live it out loud in your lifestyle. Change. You might want to change how you dress. You might want to change how you dress. Diversify your lifestyle. Change how you move. Change how you dress. I began to buy Begin to buy more ties than Jordans. Try it for 6 months. Try wearing a suit once a week to your job. I guarantee you people will, after the initial couple of weeks, or that you wear it on those days and people make small remarks like, what you trying to do? When's your court date? You got court today? Oh, you got a job interview? After those blow by, and those are from the small-minded people, you shouldn't really be engaging anyway, but you have to because they're at their job. But after those weeks pass by, watch how the individuals that actually matter in your work environment, that actually have payment power, that actually sign off, watch how they treat you different. Watch how they see you different. Listen to the compliments. Listen, you normally try to listen for what they say negative. Listen to the positive. Listen to how they handle you. They'll handle you different because you'll carry yourself different. Give yourself 2 weeks of wearing a suit 1 day a week at your current job and watch how that diversifies your mindset. You're going to, after, just like anything, if you wear bulletproof vests every day, you're going to attract the bullet. And hopefully they shoot you in the vest, and 9 times out of 10 they won't. You're going to get popped in the head. That's what we grew up seeing. But imagine you take that same mentality and you put that in wearing a suit. Instead of attracting the bullet, imagine if you attract the business opportunity. Imagine you attract the opportunity they never gave you within your job, or the opportunity to grow. You're going to attract that. It's how you carry yourself. That's the vibe that you give off. The energy you give off is what you're going to attract. Where we fail at is we expect to see it immediately. We want to see it immediately. We want it to work. We want to wear that suit and walk in and have our boss tap us and be like, yo, I want to make you a VP. It's not going to happen. The fairy tale world we've been accustomed to seeing on television that we need to stop watching anyway. But try it. Wear a suit once a week. I began wearing a suit every Monday. I wore a suit every Monday for a month. Then after that, then the next month, I wore a suit every Monday and Wednesday. Right? On that next month. After that, you'll begin to run into people that you really didn't know like that, who you just speak to in passing, and they would stop, and those same people to say, hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? In that suit, those same people will stop you and be like, what do you do again? What do you do? What department are you in? They're going to begin to inquire about your actual professional status, rather than giving you the trivial social, greetings, protocol greetings. How you doing? How was your weekend? They'll begin to discuss maybe even business matters that you may not even be involved in, but you'll be privy to more information and privy to use that information and able to use that information to elevate your flow. Switch up how you move. Diversify your lifestyle. Diversify who you hang around. Those individuals who you didn't want to hang around because you deemed that they were boring or they were older and they felt like they would, they would judge you if you, move how you really want to move, how you move on a day-to-day. Maybe they should judge you on how you move on a day-to-day. Maybe you need that around. Maybe you need to practice being on your best behavior for a short minute. Diversify your lifestyle. Change where you go. A lot of people #vacation. In Miami, Miami is no vacation. A vacation is Paris. A vacation is Prague, the Czech Republic. A vacation, maybe even the closest vacation you should take is Hawaii. Everything else is a road trip. If you don't have to travel more than 5 hours to get there, it's a road trip. It's not a vacation. Change where you go. Go places where you don't normally go. Everybody goes to Miami, Cancun. We're going to cruise to the Bahamas, DR. Like that's the business. And it's not. Try something new. Diversify your lifestyle. Diversify how you move. Try going to Greece. The little boring places that you may or may not want to go. You're going to have a ball. And you're going to see things that's going to change how you see things when you come back. Go to places where we don't normally go. And you'll see, what you'll find is how they treat you there. You're treated totally different on a negative vibe type over here than they treat you over there. Brother, you get treated like, do you know you'll get treated like a king? You go to Greece, you get treated like a king. You go to Bali, Morocco, get treated like a king. You go to Prague, the Czech Republic, Poland, Greenland, the Netherlands. Do you know what they're going to treat you like? Let's take it deeper. Go to Africa. You know, hit Nigeria up. You know, hit Cape Town, hit Joburg. Do you know how far your money would stretch? Your little dollar bills would stretch out there? Do you know that you could Airbnb a mansion out there for a week for what you would pay for a hotel room for one night out here? You don't even know. Diversify your portfolio. Diversify how you move. Change how you carry yourself. Switch up where you hang out. Instead of Applebee's, take your lady to a 5-star this Friday. Spring for the extra $100. Spring for the extra $125, $75, $100, $125, whatever it is, for the difference. Play dress up. Have her put on her finest dress, her sexiest heels, and you put on your flyest suit. You know how we like to pretend like we're Italian mob bosses because we grew up on Casino and got Goodfellas and all that. Put on your best Goodfellas outfit and slide into a 5-star with your lady. And soak up that kind of treatment. And I guarantee you're never going to want to do the normal again. You're never going to want to go back to normal. So you're going to begin to think differently and do whatever it takes to move differently to continue to feel that same vibe you felt that one time. You want to feel that every day. Diversify your portfolio. Change how you move. Change how you dress every now and then. I got my fitting on, I know. But understand when I go out to that meeting, or understand when the office reopens, I'm in that suit this time around because I got to see where it took me and where it's going to continue to take me, or where I'm going to continue to take myself based upon how I carry myself when I'm soaking up that energy. Diversify that vibe. Diversify your mindset. Diversify your lifestyle. Upgrade your appearance. That's 2 in 1. So if that was 7 and 8, we skipped it. But diversify your lifestyle. Diversify your mindset. Let's take it a step deeper, brothers. Let me give you one quick example. Let's drag it out a little bit because this is the most important one, in my opinion. One of. I've had elders in corporate environments, elders of the black within our black community, individuals that are my mother and my father's age. After I started wearing suits, they stepped to me like, "I'm so glad that you grew up and matured. You know, you used to be out there. You were wearing some things that were just totally inappropriate." Now, keep in mind, their totally inappropriate was the furthest I pushed it was a hoodie, Timberlands, and some jeans on a Friday. That's what they said was totally inappropriate. So if that's what they deemed totally inappropriate and truly unprofessional about me and the fact that I needed to grow up because of that, and they are of our community and have children that move the same way, that they've bought these clothes for and allowed to present themselves the same way, imagine what individuals that are not of our community would think when they see us. Regardless of whether we think that's right or not, it doesn't matter. It's what's going to get you where you need to go. You're not going to change the game by taking exception to how things are. You better get along and go along or get the hell on, because somebody else is waiting on your spot. Know that. Even deeper than that, upgrading your appearance. Let's just roll into the next one and finish that off in closing. But upgrading your appearance. Do you understand the level of game that it's going to take you to by just dressing in a professional fashion? You with a suit on, do you understand the kind of woman you could attract? Let's take it there. Man, I've walked through the same places, been in the same stores after work, that I had jeans and Timbs on, or sneakers on and jeans and a hoodie or a t-shirt. You know, talk to the ladies. "Oh, thank you." Give them a compliment. Oh, they keep it moving. But I'll go in those same places with that suit on after work, you know, and they're giving me the compliment. Or even if I leave with the compliment, they compliment nice shoes, nice, and don't get it twisted. Women will survey you head to toe. Whether it appears they looked at you or not, They could be looking you in, they can look you dead in your eye the whole time. That's what you think. As you walk off, they're going to compliment everything that you never saw them look at, that they saw initially, that you never saw them see. Understand, women will survey the land, Understand the level of game that it'll raise you to. The level of the quality of women that you'll attract just by you carrying yourself that way. I've been in suits and approached women, that weren't dressed up at all, doing something real quick to run to the store. And I'll stop them and give them a compliment and begin talking to them. And they'll look at me like, where's the cameras? This must be a prank. Like, are you serious? Like, what you want from me? What you up to? Like, hold up. Like, you step into me? Trust me. That's what it is. That level is something about appearance and how you carry yourself that gives off a certain energy. Don't have the cologne together. And you need to have the cologne together. But that's a whole nother show. Whole nother clip. But don't have the cologne together. Have the fresh lineup. Have your shoes clean. Have the suit looking crispy with the tie on. The watch game got to be all right. It don't need to be nothing fancy, but you need to have a watch on. Never trust anyone without a watch on. That means they have no regard for time, which means they will not hesitate to waste yours. I don't trust nobody that doesn't wear a watch. So have your watch on. That means your time is valuable. Have your shoe game right. Have the fresh lineup smelling good. Have your etiquette up to par, which means know how to switch it up, in your environment. Diversify your mindset, diversify your lifestyle. Learn how to switch up your etiquette. You may be from the inner city, but when you're not dealing with someone from that. When you need to make things feel a lot more comfortable. When you need to acclimate to your environment. Right or wrong, how you carry yourself and your appearance will open doors and allow others to feel more comfortable around you. You know what I'm saying. You know how to switch it up. And if you don't, start trying to. You know what you need to do. It's just a matter of what you have and have not done because you don't feel like you should have to. Well, then continue to be to know where you are. The hood is cool, was cool. But you got places to go, man. Let's go. Next is have no regrets. Have no regrets. Own up to your actions, but never wish that you would have ever done things differently. And never wish that you were somewhere else other than exactly where you are right now, because where you are right now is exactly where you need to be to make your next move. It's exactly where you're supposed to be. I believe in faith. I believe in a higher power. And if you believe in a faith and a higher power, and you are an individual that connects with that higher power and puts your thoughts and your dreams and your hopes out there, and you state the things that you want to do in places you want to be, then you would only be playing yourself to feel as if that you're not exactly where you're supposed to be if that higher power actually is a higher power, right? See, this is a tough one. This is going to be a tough one for you to digest. That's why I saved it for one of the last. But you're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly where you deserve to be. Have no regrets. Oh, things didn't work out with this person. I was in these situations. I should have married her. Man, I should have never fell out with dude. Man, I should have took that job. I should have took that deal. Man, I should have bought that other car. Man, I shouldn't have moved. Man, I should have never hollered at that chick. Man, I should have done this and that differently. No. You only have examples of things that you did through your growth that you were going to do anyway because it was a part of the journey. Never have regrets. Only gain understanding. Only have understanding that you have gained through your journey. That's it. I only have understanding. I don't have any regrets. I wouldn't do anything differently. I wouldn't have anybody around still from before that I had before. I wouldn't be cool with other people. I wouldn't have taken jobs in the past that, I wouldn't have went here and there. I wouldn't have not done any of that. I don't miss it. See, if you believe in a higher power and you believe in yourself, and if you actually have a plan and you're not afraid to be the nowhere where you feel like you are, because at any point in time, if you do have a plan at any given moment, you can look down at it and say, all right, I can start today. All right, I can start today, though. Yeah, that happened, but I got this right here. This is the plan right here. I can start today. Don't have any regrets. The regrets were all a part of your journey, a part of your growth. Weak people around you and from your past are going to always remind you of what you should have done differently. Even parents, I told you, you should have, whatever. They have 40, 50 years to live their life. It's time for them to live theirs and you to live yours. Yeah, people give you great advice, but maybe it wasn't advice for you to take. Maybe you had another road to take to learn a harder lesson to give you tougher skin or give you a better understanding of where you need to go next. That's it. A lot of you may or may not know my story, but I'll tell you this. I was homeless in a parking lot, and I ran this on my last one. I told people, but it was true. I was homeless in a parking lot where 10 years earlier, homeless at a parking lot at a company, because it was close. It was in between where I had to drop my son off to his daycare, his camp anyway, not daycare, camp. I had to drop him off. So it was kind of in between where I would get little temp jobs and where his day camp was. So I would play that parking lot. I had a homegirl with a son his age. I would drop him off over there to spend the night so he didn't have to go through it with me. And I'd pick him up in the morning, drop him back off. I would tell him that I worked overnight so he didn't have to know that I was sleeping in the whip. She had a husband. Salute to him. He let me drop my son off, but I couldn't post up over there. So I had to play the middle, through the course of, the weekends of having him and driving around. Luckily, fortunately, a blessing, I had a car. So I can't complain. Most homeless people, a lot of people that was out there in the streets didn't have no car to sleep in. They on the ground. So that was one blessing right there. That was one hand that I had right there that God put out my way, put out there for me to hold on to. But played that parking lot. One of the weekends that I had him, my son, we riding around, because I would have him for the summer. So it was a summer. I didn't want to admit to not having a place to keep him and not having a place to stay so that I wouldn't be able to have him for the summer. So I lied and said I had a place to stay. So that's the flow I had. That was the vibe that I had to move. That was the flow I had to move on. That was the frequency that I had to move within. Drop him off, pick him up, drop him off. Weekend, we driving around. I see a guy, a brother, that in the area that I'm in at the time, I like to feel like I carried the cross because at the time there was none of us out here. So when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, it was a brother. He pulled up in a Jaguar, stepped out with the outfit, 3-piece suit, Ferragamos, the shoes, nice watch. So I stepped to him. I got my son next to me, right? My son right here, down there with it. And I'm like, man, what do you do? Hey, bro, what do you do? Oh, I do IT. I said, for real, where? He told me right there, engineer. I'm like, really? Like, wow, like I always wanted to do that. Like, what do I need to do to get involved in that? He said, well, if you don't have a background in it, you're not already doing it. I wouldn't even try because it's just too hard. He said that to me in front of my little man, yo. Hit me with the paw on my back, got in the Jag, skirt, pulled off. All right. For the next 5 years, as I worked temp jobs, as I finally got on my feet, things like that, we would drive past that building where he worked, and we would point, and I would say, I'm going to work there one day. To the point where so much so that my son would point. I wouldn't even have to say it no more. I'd point, and he said, I know, we're going to be there one day. 10 years later, I'm homeless in that same parking lot watching people come in and out while I'm trying to go to sleep so I can get up in the morning early enough to take him to camp. A year later, 2 years after, year and a half, 2 years after that, got a job offer, put in the work, got a job offer, and now I'm in that same building and I go there every day. They had to bring your kids to work day, and my son was a teenager by then. I'm like, I know you don't want to come in here with these little kids. I know you're not trying to come to my job. He was like, are you kidding? You always said we would be in there. I gotta see the inside. He came up in there. To this day, that is the greatest joy and the greatest moment in my life. It's from going from being homeless in a parking lot and being told that you can never be there in front of your child to being there in front of your child and him getting to see you through the struggle and him getting to see you make it and become a success through the storm. That's the best lesson I feel like I could have ever taught him. Sorry. And that's my story. You can't have any regrets. You got to just know. Sometimes you got to just point and say you're going to be somewhere, and you got to just know. And you got to be willing to do what it takes to get there and do the right things, because all the foolishness is going to do is offset and slow you down or come back and haunt you. I don't have to look over my back, and I'm working at the job of my dreams that I was told by a brother that looked like me that I would never be there in front of my son, who now knows that nothing's impossible and that anything is possible. Have no regrets. Last but not least, control your energy. Control your energy. Everything that you expose yourself to, the content that you consume on a day-to-day, things that you see, things that you watch, things that you listen to, control your energy. That was probably, I would say that's number one. On my Tarantino vibe and doing things in reverse, that's number one. Control your energy. You have to control what you consume. You have to control what you see, your eyes see. You have to control what you hear, what you take in, and then what you ultimately believe. Because whatever you see and whatever you hear, the things you consume, the content you consume becomes you. That's truly who you are. If you're a person that's on World Star every day, watching fight compilations and fight videos, then that's all you're going to ever be, bro. If that's what intrigues you, then fighting to have the top IPO, fighting to have the best stock tips, fighting to have the biggest company, fighting to be on the Forbes list is not ever going to be your MO, because watching fights on World Star is the content you consume. That's going to be your vibe. That's your energy. Twerk videos are your vibe. That's all. That's you. That's all you want, right? That's all you just want to see. Shout out to everybody that's making money doing these things, but loving hip hops, the this and that's, these reality TV has just never been something that I've been into. Those who are actually making money doing it and are branding themselves doing it, that's their business blueprint. That may be their plan. I salute that. But I don't salute the people sitting around watching others brand themselves. What are you doing for those 2 hours while you're watching them brand themselves in your program? Brand themselves in your mind. What are you branding for anybody else? What are you branding for yourself? Watch what you consume. I don't watch TV. I don't know about anybody else. Am I the only one that mutes commercials? I haven't heard or really even paid attention or physically heard a commercial on a television set, on YouTube, whatever, in 2 years. The minute it comes on YouTube, I mute it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to take in anything other than what I want to take in. Everything that I consume, everything that I absorb will be what I search for, what I seek out to give me information to further where I'm trying to go. That's it. I don't care. I don't want to hear about no deodorant. I don't want to care about no manscaping. I don't want to see the preview to your new show. I don't want to hear about your new album. I don't want to see, these new sneakers. I don't want to hear about this new soft drink. I don't want to hear about no veggie water, no vitamins, none of that. Other than what I want to see. Other than what I'm seeking. Only consume what you seek that fits into your plan. If you have the importance of having a plan, control your energy. Only consume things that are customized around you building your plan. If you got time to watch all these clips and I get it. You watching me right now, and I have a podcast too. I want you to look at the headline. If the tagline don't apply to where you're trying to go, don't click on it. Even if it's from me. Even if it's me or people on my platform. Don't. Take a moment. Give yourself 90 days to, after you map your plan, give yourself 90 days to when you're on YouTube, only search for the things that are in the field that you're pursuing. Your field of study. Only watch the shows and documentaries that are on within your field of study, your expertise that you are trying to master. Give yourself 90 days. Don't take in anything. Be unwilling to accept anything from anywhere else. At all. Even on your social media. For real. Subscribe only to the notifications for that period from the pages of people that are doing similar things or have information that can assist you in where you're trying to go. If you're into space travel, you only need to be following Elon Musk and NASA and MUFON. All them little girls you be looking at, dead it. Give it 90 days, bro. Trust me. Put yourself in a realm. If you're on YouTube, stop listening to these little podcasts of people giving their opinions about corny-ass rap albums and things like that. Who cares? What does that mean to you in the grand scheme? You can't call none of these rappers, entertainers, basketball players, and nothing to pay a bill for you. So why in the world would you sit through what they have to say, let alone what somebody else has to say about them? Who cares? Give it 90 days. Shut that down. Shut the nonsense down. Only focus on what the plan is. Control your energy. Control what you could consume. Control what you're around. Shut it down for 90 days. And I did say that was the last one, but it's actually not. I did say that was first and foremost, but that's not. First and foremost, last order of operation. Brothers, shut it down for a while. We just spoke about shutting it down. Shut it down for a while. Speaking of 90 days, one thing I had to change and what you might need to change is move sex to the bottom of your to-do list. Move sex to the bottom of your to-do list. Shut it down for 90 days and watch how much more you get done in where you're trying to go. When you're not trying to call back and forth around and text back and forth around chasing behind girls to see if they can come through. You can go through over there, sitting on the phone for 2 hours a night, pretending like you care about somebody's whack-ass conversation and you care about what they're talking about when you don't. A Black Man's Guide to the Galaxy. Shut it down for 90 days. Move sex to the bottom of your to-do list for 90 days. And you'll see how little value it actually had in your life, man. Think about it. You're taking your time, you're spending your money on dates to sign up for you to do all the work. And we'll go into that later. But you know what I'm saying. For you to put in work, you're pursuing it, you're wasting your time, your evenings when you get off work all day after work and you say, oh, I'm sick of being at this job. And instead of going home and working on building something so where you don't have to be at that job if that's not where you want to be, you rather sit on the phone and listen to somebody dream on the phone with you and talk about what they're about to try to do. So it's going to be the battle of the dreamers. Two halves don't make a whole in companionship. You got to be whole and she got to be whole too. And it's so long as both of you guys are half-assed, it ain't going to be nothing. So shut that down for 90 days. Whatever you're dealing with, unless that's wifey. If she's not helping, if you're not working towards something, work towards the other way. That way, when you come back around, if it's real, it's still going to be there, and you're going to be a better man, and you're going to be able to see a lot more clearly and see if that's what the true business is for you in the first freaking place. Shut it down. Move sex to the bottom of your to-do list. You don't need it for a while. If you love it, if you're hooked on it, you don't deserve it till you get where you're going anyway. Trust me. Sex feels a lot better on vacation on a yacht. Again, thanks for checking in. I am Dr. Manhattan. This was a Black Man's Guide to the Galaxy. Be sure to check into the next post, man, on Villain Podcast on this same channel. Be sure to subscribe. Check the notifications if this is content that you feel like you can consume and learn something from and grow with me. I'm still learning, so I'm always check in and drop new jewels and drop some game always. And I hope you guys be sure to go in the description. The email information is in there. Give me some game too. Let's build together. Let's build and grow. If this is not a channel you can't build and grow with, cool. I'll see you at the top. If you can rock with me, subscribe. Planet X Galaxy. Check the next one that we do, which is going to be Villain Podcast. It's going to be called This Is 40. I'm about to give the jewels, about to drop the info on how dope it is to be older. When we was younger, we never wanted to get old. I guess that's why we got all these old dudes running around here out here looking crazy, trying to be young still. That's why these young people, these young G's don't respect anything we're saying, because we're running around here acting immature and trying to tell them how they need to move. When in reality, most of them got a lot more going on than most of us. Why would they listen to you? It's time to step it up. Time to give you the positives. This is 40. Check in on the next podcast. Be sure to subscribe.